Alex bringing you a new episode of Gravity Blues, the podcast where myself and my co-host Ren explore our Earth and extraterrestrial concerns and interests. And today is December 30th. We have one more day.
Time of recording. You know?
Time of recording, yeah. This is probably going to come out after the New Year's. So
could
if it does,
come
and
out
you're listening,
tonight. I mean, you know,
a little quick upload.
You never know.
Yeah. Well, I guess if
I do have an emergency
Go ahead.
notification I just received on my phone.
Oh my
It
gosh.
says, loose wallaby.
Breaking news.
It says local wallaby, and I don't know why I'm getting this as local because it says it's in Williamstown, New Jersey. But this kangaroo has escaped and needs to be returned to the New Jersey farm. Although, and why is this breaking news for us? My phone said it was, so I had to share that because I thought that a loose kangaroo, that's important. You know, if there's one thing I know.
It's got to be one of those. Yeah, we don't want a kangaroo loose.
No.
What's that? What's the movie where it's like the boxing kangaroo? Is it Kangaroo Jack or something?
Jack.
I can't remember.
Absolute horrible but classic movie. I've seen them probably billion
so bad
times,
it's good.
Billion times when I was a kid. You know, they had an animated spin-off. The animated spin-off was so good. Kangaroo Jack is so good. Who is that? It's
I don't know.
The main dude is like a big actor. I mean Christopher Walken I think is in it as like the dad. And
that's great.
And then
I haven't watched it in so long.
There's like his stepbrother's like classic mob guy, you know. Oh my gosh. What a I might have to go look that up after this pod is over. Like a horrible movie, but that just for the nostalgia of it hits in the right way.
Right.
But
we were talking about doing a like a movie club thing, instead of like a book club. We could do Kangaroo Jack could be the first installment
would be setting the tone a certain way, and I'm so here for it. But I think like you scare off potential people. Although maybe you get the right kind of people. They come in, they watch Kangaroo Jack, and they're like,
right.
"What are we doing?" But this is wild, Oh man. Okay, what a tangent that was. Anyway, let's jump into this. What's going on? Obviously, we're at the end of the year, so let's talk a little bit about what's been going on, and there's so much stuff to reflect on for 2025. Sports wise, I feel like it's kind of been a crap year for almost every sport that we care about, except for our Buckeyes who play tomorrow, and to be honest, it would be pretty full circle in 2025 if they go and lose that game in a bizarre fashion. That would be very like, okay, cool. And this year just sucked sports wise all the way around.
Yeah, no happiness, just despair and yeah. I don't know. I feel pretty confident about the game, but Miami's trying to get their lick back.
Yeah, I mean, we're coming off a loss, so you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, anything can happen at this point. But we'll see how that goes. I really like. We were just talking before the pod started. Like, will the Browns fire their coach? Will Stefanski be gone? There's not really. We just said there's not really a lot of options. So, who knows? Obviously the Titans are still looking for their next coach. So, we're leaderless right now, coachless. So who knows?
Well, I will say, the past few games, Cam Ward has been looking. He's been making some pretty awesome plays, and like they didn't win this past week, right? But that one play that they ruled wasn't a lateral or whatever they ruled it as. That was still like a spectacular play, and if I'm a head coach and I see that, I might, there's going to be the Giants position open too, and the Jets, and there's gonna be a lot of openings. So I don't know.
It feels like a bit like to me like last year when, I mean the bell of the ball for that was like Ben Johnson, right? And he was looking around.
Yeah,
and
Caleb Williams
was like, well, Caleb Williams looks so good, but then also right there was other options out there, but he's like, oh, I'm gonna go coach that guy because that guy has a lot of potential in this team, even though it's long suffering, has a lot of potential. pretty cool. Other stat I saw that I was like, that's pretty cool. There's only two running backs that have 1,000 yards in each of the last 4 years, and it's Derrick Henry and Tony Pollard. So that's some
Wow.
Titans
Oh yeah, Tony
Titans
Pollard,
royalty, Titans royalty right there with those two.
dude. He Tony Pollard destroyed the Browns. Like when you guys played us this year, it was disgusting. And yeah, you don't really ever since he's been away from the Cowboys, you haven't really heard his name a
It's
whole ton.
kind of messed up because he balls out like every game. Like he was pretty good this year
Yeah.
overall, but it's just one of those things where the Titans have been so shitty that like pretty much they've been irrelevant. There's other stories that were in the Titans that are cool, that are more relevant, even though nobody's watching those games. The last few
Hmm.
years. I mean, there was the Mike. Well, not Mike. What's the guy's name? I've scrubbed him out of my brain. Will Levis, and we had him and
Oh right,
last year.
Mayo boy.
Maya Boy was throwing crazy picks, and I love every time I see highlights of it. You can like put him what he was doing versus what like we're doing now, and Cam Ward's doing, and they're very similar in terms of like they're running around making plays last. Except Cam Ward is able to just throw like a crossbody 60-yard pass, and Will Levis
Yeah,
would just like throw an interception, and it's like,
falls
okay,
on his
yeah.
face.
So like, maybe an upgrade, maybe we don't know for sure, but
Hmm.
I would say so. It is very classic that we're winning all these all these end of the year games that at this point I'm like, come on, what are we doing?
Browns did that too, man. They could have had the second pick in the draft going into this upcoming week, and now they're down to six. But we might be our win might have knocked the Steelers out of the playoffs. So I'm pretty
Yeah,
petty
that's
about
huge.
that.
No,
So
no, that
uh,
is huge. I
if
got
we're gonna beat a team and lose our positioning, that's one team I'm okay with it
yeah.
being for.
I'm
But
not
you know,
I'm not a as big a Steelers hater as you are, but I think I am a much bigger Aaron Rodgers hater. So I'm definitely on board
okay.
on that angle of it, you know. But overall, pretty uninteresting from our point of view. I am excited though for playoff season, obviously, and we'll get into that as it comes. But
Yeah.
there's nothing else really going on. I mean, the Jackets are making trades. I don't know, like they're making me mad. They're like, we're so bad. The Jackets are so bad, and they're bringing in guys, and it's like, are we? Do we think we have a chance at this point? Like, it doesn't seem like it, and I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Um,
I haven't been following them a ton, but I did see the record. They're like one game over 500, I think, or around there, which is kind of no man's land. But you know,
yeah. So who knows? Maybe the new guy came in and scored his first three games straight. So maybe they finally found a
Mhm.
star. You know what I mean? But like, let's talk about movies because this is kind of where I am. This has been a movie last couple weeks, obviously with the holidays, um, and for the first time this year, I saw the same movie in theaters two times. I saw it more than once. This is the only movie I've done this all
Special.
year long. I know you've done this a couple times, I think, right? You saw a few.
Yeah, I've done it. I think for three of the movies, like in my like top five or top six,
Okay.
I think.
And what? But
So
did you? Am I mistaken? Did you see Minecraft multiple times?
no, I only saw that one time.
Okay.
Yeah,
You didn't go
yeah.
back for the sing along?
One time's enough. No, it wouldn't hit. Oh, that was the special release. That did tempt me a little bit, but I was not driving an hour. I was not driving an hour to go see that special edition.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
wasn't that devoted.
Fair enough. But the movie, of course, we're talking about is Marty Supreme, which came out on Christmas Day. I saw it the day after Christmas, and then I saw it again last night. So less than a week later. And the reason I really wanted to go back and see it a second time is I saw it the first time at 9 a.m. in the morning. You know,
Hmm.
and it was good. It was great, but that was a very different experience. And then last night I saw it at 10 p.m. So it was like a late night showing, and I was like, "This is cool, like
Yes.
very different vibes." Actually, and I'll say, and yes, it's been out for a few days, and last night was a Monday night, but both theaters were
Hmm.
full. which is I
Yeah.
find interesting. Full on a, you know, like week was a Friday morning, full on a Monday night, but the vibes of the 9 a.m. crowd way higher, like very much more energetic.
Wow.
Yeah, I was very surprised by
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I saw it twice as well. I saw it also the day after Christmas, but I saw it like in the afternoon,
Hmm.
like 3 p.m. So it was pretty. I think it was almost completely full, or mostly full. And yeah, definitely like there's some jokes in there that are like the first time you hear it, you're like, what the hell? And it's like, you kind of, I was laughing and other people were laughing too. So I was surprised by that. And then the second time I saw it, I think I saw it the day right after again.
Oh man.
And I saw it at 10:30. So
Okay.
even a little bit later than you. I didn't get out till like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
or around there, I think. So with the trailers, but
It's a it's a
yeah,
it's
yeah,
a long
was,
movie. It is. It's a 2.5 hours. So
mhm,
I mean, that's it's and it doesn't really feel super long. There's like a I think
no.
the only part that I'm really glad to my watch is it kind of has two endings in a way where like there's the moment we won't spoil it. We don't have to go into like that stuff
Hmm.
because it is still pretty new. But there's a moment at the end where you're like, okay, this feels like the ending, and they could have ended it there. And then there's like kind of another scene after that, which is a great scene. And kind of it is a better
Yes.
ending. But I wouldn't have been that surprised if that
Yes.
other scene had been the ending. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. And the actual ending is very interesting because I've been seeing people take it very differently.
Mm.
In regards to like, because I, not really a spoiler, like you can kind of get this from the trailer, but you know, uh, Marty Mauser, that's the main character. And, I think the promotion was like dream big, right? So
Yeah.
he's all about his dream to be the best, ping pong player in the world, and he's going to do whatever it takes to be able to get to that moment, to be able to, kind of proclaim himself as that. And yeah, so he kind of does anything he wants to, or not wants to, but what he needs to be able to get to that point. And yeah, the kind of the end is, this, he's trying to get to this tournament, and a lot of things happen along the way. But through the movie, he's just doing all kinds of crazy stuff, and he's not a very like good person, I would say, like and they're
You know
not
what
trying to
though?
make
You know
make
what?
him seem like a good
I
person.
I
He has
I
some good traits though, I will say.
yeah. So I think it's he's a complex guy, obviously, right? But and
Hmm.
this is what makes it such a cool character and such a good movie. Is like he's not a good guy in terms of like he takes advantage of people, right? And he's really driven in terms of his goal. He's willing to break laws and do things that are not good. Although I think he picks and chooses that a little bit. He doesn't. He kind of has a angle where if he's going to steal something, he's going to steal from someone that has a lot of money, right? Or if he's going to take advantage of someone, he
Hmm.
doesn't. I think he kind of knows he's not taking advantage of somebody that's really going to hurt that person. So none of the stuff he does, other than an accident, I'll say, I feel like
Hmm.
it leaves that person worse off realistically. Uh, that said,
Yes.
I do want to say like there are moments where you're like, okay, this guy he really does care about the people his family, right? The people that are
Hmm.
around him, especially um, a certain character in the movie where I think if you're gonna be like, oh, he doesn't care about her, I think the last interaction he has with um, her husband, we'll say that
Oh yeah.
well that he wouldn't have done that, right? That like I think
Hmm.
the only reason he does that is because gives a lot of he cares a lot from that angle. Yeah,
Yes. And yeah, no, I agree. I think that they're like kind of perfect for each other too,
yeah.
like him and this kind of love interest. And because they're both kind of, there is something she does in there, that's
Dude, I'll
pretty
say
crazy,
I'll say, and we're maybe I'll say this. Let's do this real quick. This is
Okay.
my Rins record of the week. Okay, so this is if you haven't seen this, go watch this movie in theaters. Awesome. It should definitely be watched in theater. It's big. It's awesome. It's like makes you sit there and be stressed. It is a movie. I think even if you watch it at home, you cannot be on your phone during this thing because it is nonstop. There is something going on every
Yeah,
second of the film. There's like very little downtime. I think through the whole thing, which is awesome. It's very high paced and exciting. That said, let's like pause this or whatever so we can talk about a couple of things more specifically. Because we're talking
sure.
about Odessa. I can't remember. I don't remember her last name.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah, I can remember last name. Yeah,
her
Odessa's
her
character.
character in the movie is when the reveal that's with the makeup. When that happens,
Hmm.
both times in the theater, the whole audience audible gasp and like really like oh my god moment, right? And I was like, that's a pretty
Yeah.
powerful little spot there.
Yes. And then I thought the dynamic after that, they kind of get in it's funny because they get into a fight in a situation where they're supposed to be really quiet, and then it's like you got other people coming into the room being like, what the hell's going on, and she just does not care. She's just like,
No, they both
just insulting people
they
left and
both go
right.
off.
It
I do
was,
love his immediate reaction is see how calm I am right now? It's not gonna last. And he's like
yeah.
I'm so calm. It's like he's furious. It's awesome. Uh no, but
Yeah.
it's great. And I also want to say other moment I loved is the last bit with Kevin O'Leary's character, where he comes in and Marty's about to win the tournament, and he comes over and he goes, "I was born in 1601. I'm a vampire."
I'm a
It's like,
vampire.
which which that's such a cool moment because I think that's something that well, I talked to my dad I saw this with, and he didn't really get that, and I was like, okay, well that's one of the more cool parts of what this movie is about because
Hmm.
Marty's telling the story, right? And so there's a lot of moments in this where it's like insane shit is happening, and I think what you got to think about is like not everything is going down exactly how it seems because this is a guy that kind of makes stuff up. It's like he's telling it on his own. That might be the gist of what the
Hmm.
guy said. I don't think in the reality the guy says I'm a vampire. I was born 1601. He go because Marty's like, okay, fuck you. You're just an old man.
Yeah, he's looks perplexed. He's like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
So I did like that a lot. It kind of shows you that reality, because he's one of these guys where reality kind of is as he makes it, and the movie is set up to like kind of show that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and yes, and I loved his character because he's pretty much just playing himself. Kevin
Yeah,
O'Leary,
yeah,
he's just playing himself, kind of, and that is one of the coolest things about these past two like Safdie movies. This and Uncut Gems. Uncut Gems had Kevin Garnett, and Kevin Garnett is literally just playing himself.
yeah.
Like he's known as the biggest shit talker, one of the biggest shit talkers in NBA history. And like you got Howard like telling him like, oh, they only think you're going to score 18 points, and he's like, kidding. He's like, what the hell are you talking about? And I think it's so cool adding in these like real life people that you can like
Well, that's
recognize,
yeah,
and it's just they're playing themselves.
yep.
It's so cool.
There's so many non-actor people between that movie and this one. Like if you go back to that, like Julia Fox, The Weeknd are in the movie. Like Julia Fox is playing a character,
Hmm.
The Weeknd is playing himself. But she was also, I think that was her acting debut, right? So there are
I
people
think
in
so. Yeah.
these non-actors in these movies. This one had Kevin O'Leary. He does play character, but this is his first like real that kind of drama work. Also, the Marty's friend who like the business guy. He's just a comedian in New York
Yep.
that went viral in a video. And I saw this interview where he's like, "Yeah, Josh just saw me on a video and called me, and I said, do you want to be in the movie?" And it's like, okay, cool.
Yeah. It's crazy. And then Tyler, the
Oh,
creator,
Tyler Creator, yeah.
was Marty's like pretty much his one of his better friends, and he was like doing hustle. I love the hustle scene too.
Oh yeah.
That's in this movie. I
Oh
always
yeah.
I always love a good hustle, like
Yep.
in movies or TV shows. And yeah, it was they did a pretty good job. And yeah, that was his first ever acting, role,
He's
and
great.
I thought he did great too. Yeah, and I think I texted you about this. Such a like just a cool thing I thought back to while I was when I was in the theater watching it was yeah, like back in 2020, Tyler the Creator was like featured on a song, and yeah, I can't remember the line verbatim, but it was about Good Time, the movie, and then he like also shouted out Josh Safdie, um, and yeah, I just think it was one of my favorite songs back then. And then just like now he's doing a movie. He's in a Josh Safdie movie, like his first appearance ever is
Yeah.
just so cool. And then I'm pretty sure him and Timothy Chalamet were like kind of good acquaintances before as well. So,
Yeah.
which is
Timothy
not
seems he
surprising,
seems
but
to run in that world of like everyone knows this guy. Like he's just a social magnet.
yeah.
Okay, we could spend some time in a minute talking about like the marketing stuff because it's like honestly been nuts. But
Oh, it's crazy.
any other thoughts on like the movie overall? Because I mean, it is a great movie. I think in a second we'll do also our top five of the year, and
Sure,
I think
sure.
spoiler alert, it's on mine. But you know,
Yes. One last thing I want to shout out. You, I think this was one of the first things you said to me. Because you saw it before me. You texted. You're like,
mhm.
soundtrack is awesome,
Oh yeah,
and yeah, it was from one of my favorite guy that did one of my favorite albums this year, Daniel Lopatin. I think that's how you say his last name, but also goes by One O Tricks Point Never. And yeah, do the soundtrack both because I think he did all the music. So he did pick the songs and then also
yeah.
did
Which
his
even
actual
so,
score,
right.
which is awesome.
Right. The score is awesome. It absolutely is fantastic. This is one of those too where I when I was flying back from Christmas, I downloaded the whole score, like score and songs on my phone and like was listening to it on
Hmm.
the plane because that's like I was like obsessed with this. But even all the song choices, they're crazy picks because like they're so perfect for the moments they're in, but at the same time it's like it's a movie set in the 50s or like even in the 40s, so like mid 40s, 50s
Hmm.
kind of time, and everyone talks like they talk today. So there's no like you know
It's
50s thing.
timeless.
It's a timeless thing, and but then they look all like they're in the 50s, and the music is all over the place. It is like some 50s
Yes.
stuff mixed with like stuff from the 80s,
80s.
90s. Like it is all over.
Yeah.
So and it's I also this is the first thing I said to you I think too is like the opening of this movie is fucking incredible. It is like so strange. It is almost
One of my favorite openings ever.
yeah yeah
It
yeah yeah.
yeah. We won't spoil it, but it's awesome. The transition from the opening to like kind of the first scene after is hilarious. Is I was like, what the hell am I watching? And
Exactly.
then you've got you got Forever Young playing in the background too.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That's again. You're watching. So fun. And then transitions are in this are actually really fun and the whole time, and they stay with you.
Mhm.
So uh,
Yeah, yeah, great movie. I will say just another kind of like needle drop moment. The last song,
mm,
everybody wants to rule the world.
mm,
You know, you watch it a second time and you listen to the lyrics, like the first opening line of that song, and when it comes in and like just kind of meshing into that scene, it just like summarizes that whole scene and like kind of the ending. And I
yeah.
I was like, that's just like
It's
it's a great song, but it also is just like a perfect, just like this is where we're at, kind of moment.
so there's other songs in the credits too. Like one of them is Father Father to Son by uh Phil. Oh man, I gotta
Is it Phil
Phil
Collins?
Collins. Yeah, Father to
Phil
Son,
Collins, yeah.
or like Son from
Hmm.
Father by Phil Collins is in there, and it's like literally,
Hmm.
but it's like yeah. So there's like that kind of like it's so on the nose in a way, but it hits very well in the end. I'd love to when that song comes in, the credits start rolling, and the babies are still screaming and over the credits, and it's like
Oh, it's so good. It's so funny.
it's really funny. Um, okay, let's let's do this. Let's talk about the marketing too, or just the stuff going around this because I feel like um I mean, I hadn't heard of like we can talk about SD Kid really before, but besides
Yeah.
like, oh, it might be Timothy Chalamet, and then I love like this comes and is kind of like a final push for the movie, and he does the song with SD Kid, which they still might be the same person, right? I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. You haven't seen the other guy with his little bandana down and Timothy in the same room. So um, yeah, no, I knew of him before, and then yeah, I kind of knew of the conspiracy,
Yeah,
and then, like Timothy Chalamet was kind of like playing into it before he did the collaboration. But I thought that was like the best. Even if he wasn't like promoting a movie, that would have still been really cool, to like kind of hop on. But it was also just a perfect like it just went viral instantly, So yeah, that was really cool. And the song itself, and even like the remix with him on it is pretty fun.
yeah.
It's a
I don't listen
pretty
to
good tune.
a lot of any kind of rap or hip hop or anything like that, like often. And I was like, this is actually really fun, and I like this a lot. And I don't know if it's because it's Timothy Chalamet. I actually have listened to a couple other of SD Kid stuff, and I'm like, this is like pretty jammy. They're fun songs. So, I
Hmm.
really do like that he plays along like or he was like it's very fun, and it's also you know, this is an artist that is up and coming, right? And Timothy Chalamet knows like if I leave this rumor out there, this guy's gonna get extra views and attention. And if he's like, I think that guy's cool, then why not do that so that this guy benefits from that, right? So I like that a lot. That's a very cool like broy move.
Yes, yeah, yeah. And then he did a few other promotion
Yeah,
things as well. Like I think early on he was going on a ton of like interview spaces, and like he was in that Zoom call doing
the
the
Zoom
schwap
call, the
or
shop,
whatever.
that was so funny.
Schwap.
I saw was it I think it's Gwyneth Paltrow was on like the late night show, and they were like, "Oh, what did you think?" And she goes, "Schwap," like that, and I was like, "This is so funny to see Gwyneth Paltrow doing that." But
Yeah, and then like yeah, he was on the sphere, the first
oh
person
yeah,
ever on top of the
yeah,
sphere, right? That was, and then it was the sphere was a giant, Marty Supreme orange sphere as it's called in the movie. And that was one thing I kind of picked up on too. Like not to go back to the movie, but
mm,
the symbolism with because it's like the first time you watch, it's like all right, there's the orange ping pong ball, like, and it's in a few scenes, but there is a little bit of like
yeah,
symbolism. I feel like with like how he operates, and how he gets through life, and
mm.
the ball is one of the many
Well,
things,
especially because you know, he says the very one of the very early interactions he's talking about the ball. He's like, you can't see the white ball against the white shirt, right? And then that final
right.
match, they're both
The
wearing white
tournament thing.
shirts,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm like,
Right.
okay,
And
you
you,
set
yeah.
this up
Well,
already that we can't see the ball like this. So, but then they roll with it. Yeah, and I agree. I like that a lot too because you could bring that in the other way and have him like go, oh, we're wearing white, we got to use the orange ball or something. But I like
yeah.
it better this way as kind of like a reason or like showing that character growth in that scene. Like he's viewing things a little different. You know, his
Hmm.
world has
Hmm.
changed a little bit.
Yeah. I guess another marketing thing he did too, which actually it may have had my favorite moment in the whole thing, was he went on like Drew. If you know the comedian Drewski, he
Yeah, yeah.
does
I
like
saw
these
this.
like he pulls up to a city,
Yeah,
and he like does these auditions. My favorite part. So Timothy Chalamet was a part of it. He had all his Marty Supreme kind of. He had his like henchmen, with them with the
which is also
balls on their head.
hilarious. It has nothing to do with the
Yeah, the
movie at
henchman's
all.
awesome.
But it's just
Nope.
like part of the marketing is that he's got these dudes with giant balls on their head, and it's like why? But it's very fun.
Yeah. Right. So in the auditions, there's like at the beginning, he's actually part of like the screening phase, before the audition gets over to Drewski, and it's not even really an audition. Once it gets there, it's just whatever happens happens. but it's this like little kid comes up to the screening audition, and he's probably like 8 or 10, or like he should not be there,
Uh-huh.
and Timothy Chalamet is like, have you seen Wonka before? And he was like, yeah, I've seen Wonka before. And and he was like, which one did you see? And he was like, the old one. And then he was like, the Gene Wilder one. He's like, yeah, that one. And then, have you seen mine, or have you seen another one? And he was like, yeah, I saw another one. And it was like the Johnny Depp one, and then he asked him if he saw the latest one with him. And he's like, no, I didn't even know that was a thing. It's just like, he looked so sad. He was just like, oh man.
There's a few of the clips I've seen from that interview thing, which cracks me up a bit. They're all pretty funny, and he just seems
Yeah.
like a very funny dude that is just like willing to chat to anybody. At least that persona of him, right? So, very fun. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's everything for that. I can't wait to see what you know uh Josh Safdie does next, dude. I mean, this
Yep.
guy clearly has a talent for like making these kind of movies, which I love. All three of these are all. I mean, I know they have a couple other older stuff, but the three, you know,
Yeah.
the
The
run
trilogy.
from Good Time, yeah, to Uncut Gems
Yeah.
to Marty Scream. It's like okay, I'm 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 ready. I will say this one it does have some obviously painful moments, but it is probably the ends the happiest of the three, undeniably.
Yes.
So
Yes. Like, it's still like not. I wouldn't say it's like like it's.
it's a happy
Yeah,
ending.
it definitely does not. It's
I would
not
say
as tragic. It's not a tragic ending. Like
I
the
would
two
say it
others.
is a happy ending in the way that it ends, and
I
uh,
think so.
yeah, I don't know, but if you compare it, right? So like,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
easily. I was happy it didn't go down that route
yeah,
again. That was like my thing. I'm like, all right, we need like kind of a win. It doesn't have to be a full win, but
yeah.
I don't want to just leave the theater just in shambles. Like, again, like, and I like movies like that, but
Yeah.
I'm glad they kind of shift,
Okay.
or Josh at least shifted away from that.
But yeah, which have some different ways in your movies, but also I love his style and the feel of these movies, and they do have a oh god, everyone's screaming over the top of each other, kind of like that's his shtick. So
Hmm.
I want more of those. So please keep making these kind of movies. I Question for you: Do you think is this, in your opinion, the best sports movie of all time?
Oh, hmm.
Eh,
Um, it's hard because it's like, it's a ping pong movie kind of, but it's like, I wouldn't say that's the actual. It's more of like a setting. It's like
I mean,
it. I don't know.
I kind of agree, but at the same time, you know, there's just about as much of him playing ping pong in this movie as like there is Rocky boxing, in Rocky, which
Yeah,
is unquestionably a sports movie, right?
yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard for me because it's like, I don't know how to justify, like, you could say this for, like, I guess, any kind of situations, like, oh, you might think this movie is better overall, but you think it fits a certain genre.
Yeah, true.
Another movie fits another genre better. So, um, it's definitely one of the better ones. Like, in terms of like, like it, like he's actually playing. Like, I think I
Yeah,
saw that he had like
yeah.
ping pong tables on set since like Dune, the first Dune
There
movie.
is,
Like,
yeah. There's pictures of the ping pong table like in the desert, and it's like he's just brought that
yeah.
table with them everywhere they went. It's just insane. But I don't. For me, I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's definitely up there. Like I think about other like
Hmm.
classic sports movies, and I think Rocky. I think like Karate Kid. You know,
Hmm.
there's
Hmm.
there's lots of racing movies, right? I mean, we got F1 earlier this year, um, and I
Yep.
think that is unquestionably more in the genre of sports movie. But I think it's hard not to say that. Marty Supreme isn't a sports movie, and if you do say that, you're wrong
Yes,
to
I
me.
agree. Yeah, it
I
definitely
would
is a sports movie.
I would say this is better than F1 from that perspective. Even though I liked F1, but you know, I don't know. It's tough. It is a tough question. Just it just had to be asked. Uh, but gotta always wonder. Okay,
Sounds like something we could rank in the future
exactly,
here.
exactly. Let's do that.
Maybe for the Olympics or something. The Olympics are coming up, so maybe we could do it for that.
Okay, here's what I want to do. I want to do real quick. Our top 5 films of
Oh,
2025. Okay.
oh man.
I'm gonna say that let's do this in a kind of special way though. Okay.
Cool. Okay. Oh, okay.
Because I think that largely we're gonna pick a similar set of 5, and I'm
That's true.
happy if we don't, but I think we are. I think at least 2 or 3 we're gonna share. So what I would like to do is let's do this draft style. So
Okay.
I'll let you go first, and you can pick a movie, and
Okay.
then we'll go back and forth. That way we get a total of 10, and we can
Okay. All
because
right.
we can release our actual like fives each, later.
Yes, that's good. All right. I'm gonna go. Do you want me to go first? Or do you want to go first?
You can go. You go first.
Okay. I think I already know the order, regardless of who went first, because I kind of know your top of the year, and I know my top. But I'm gonna go Marty Supreme. That was my movie of the year. So
Okay,
I'm gonna go that.
that is fair enough. I am gonna go one battle after another.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was expecting.
Now I will say,
Um.
I will say, one battle after another was
Mm-hmm.
actually my one, right? So for you is Mars Supreme
Yes.
your one, your absolute one.
Yes.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I think like the second time seeing it kind of justified it for me.
Fair
So
enough. Fair enough.
I'm gonna go. Weapons. I think that was my
Weapons.
second favorite of the year.
That's
So
great. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm going Hamnet.
Okay. Ooh.
Man, these are
Um.
starting off pretty hot, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I'll go. I'll go Sinners. I'll go Sinners.
Sinners. So that's a great pick.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Um, I think I'm gonna.
Oof.
I just really loved it. I think I'm gonna have to go. Uh, Superman.
Superman, dude. That's a banger, man.
Uh,
That's probably the best superhero movie of the year.
I think
Looking through
that's
my
no question.
yeah,
I think that's no question.
yeah,
I think it's probably the best
yep.
hero movie I've seen in like 10 years. You know,
Wow. Whew.
I'm not a
Yeah, it was good. It was very good. All right. I think I'm gonna go. What is this? Is
you're
this
up 4.
four
Yeah,
for me?
4.
All right. I'm gonna go. Oh shoot. Oh, Zootopia 2. I love
Wow, I haven't
Zootopia
seen
2.
it yet. It's that good?
Yeah, I
Okay,
liked it. I liked it a lot.
okay. No,
I
fair
was
enough.
mostly the references. The references really. I was like, yes, give me some
Okay,
adult
no,
references
I've
that I
seen both.
can
I love
relate
the.
with.
I mean, the first one's classic, and I love Jason Bateman. So I definitely gotta go check it out. I'm gonna throw on, uh, Wake Up Dead Man, the Knives Out movie.
Yeah, I still haven't watched that. That's on my to do list.
It's very good.
I got a few on there. All right. I know my last one. I know you were not going to pick this one, so I was waiting until the end. 28 years later.
Wow, you saw my review of it.
Yes. I did. I was
um,
like, this easy money for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good movie. I think generally, I've never been a zombies guy, so that's like kind of the challenge for me.
Yeah.
Is like I actually like those kind of movies. I don't always like Alex Garland writing though, so that's the other side of it. But
Yeah, there's definitely some issues I had with it a little bit. I think I had it like my sixth favorite of the year, so
no, I mean, it's a great pick, obviously. Hard to be wrong in this exercise, right? I'm gonna go
that's
to
true.
round out my top 5. I'm gonna go Train Dreams, and yeah, it's fantastic. We're our little book club. We're reading the book of Train Dreams right now, so it's and
Hmm.
they made the
Hmm.
movies on Netflix. Have you seen that yet?
No, I haven't. I got to start reading too, so
It's
I'm
it's
behind.
worth it. It's a little
Oh,
little
that's
book.
easy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, okay, that's a great little set of five
that was
each.
fun.
Maybe we
It's
can.
fun.
Maybe I'll put them up and we can a poll and see what people think. Although a lot of these
Hmm.
are
Hmm.
uh you know, at least in terms of like my family and stuff. A lot of these are not haven't been widely seen, and that's okay. Hopefully, they get more
Yeah.
attention as the stuff comes. Oh, last thing on Marty Supreme, I'll just throw out there because I don't think we said this yet. Um, Guaranteed Timothy Chalamet Oscar.
Yeah, I think so. The only, well, I've heard outside of Leo, who was the other kind of person I heard, was Ethan Hawke and was it
Blue
Blue
Moon.
Moon,
Blue Moon.
right?
I haven't seen that one. That's the one that I have left because it's been hard to see. It wasn't in
Okay.
any theater near me, so I'm waiting for that
Yeah.
to come out.
Yeah. So those are the three. Those are the three. And I love Leo's performance. It was very fun, but it doesn't feel as much of a, this person should win lead
Well,
actor,
and
you
and
know?
and it's because there's other performances around Leo that make you go in the same way that Timothy Chalamet is incredible in Marty Supreme. You look at like Sean Penn in that movie is otherworldly, right?
Hmm.
And then even like Tiana Taylor or Chase Infinity are both doing very well, right? And so it's hard when you and he's not really going over the top in that same way, which he doesn't have to. But
Yeah, that's his character. Yeah. Yeah.
obviously, there was a Daniel Day Lewis movie out this year too, that his son directed. It's called
Hmm.
Anemone, and I've heard very good things about his performance in that. I don't know if that'll even, get any buzz, just because the reviews weren't good of the film. But obviously, people are always go Daniel Day Lewis deserves the Oscar because he's incredible. So, but
Yeah, and that is a cool thing. Him coming back and starring in his son's. Is that his
it
debut
is, yeah.
directorial
Roman, I
debut?
think his
Okay,
name is Roman Day Lewis or
okay.
Roman Lewis. I'm
Hmm,
not sure.
it's a good
Um,
name.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or might be, yeah, something like that. It might be Ronin. I'm not sure. Let's jump
Mm,
though. Let's leave the world of film, because I imagine we'll come back to
yes.
this as in the next few weeks when we start hearing Oscar news that comes in.
Oscars.
But
Yep.
let's talk some tunes, man. I want to talk some music.
Yeah, dude. Yes, yes. Well, yeah, there's similar to movies. Well, I guess movies we did kind of get an amazing thing drop last minute, with Marty Supreme, but yeah, there hasn't really been any new music, but we could go over our top fives, I guess.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think we like kind of share these with each other, but I know we had I think we had more different picks in this than the movie. So I think we could just go through those really
sure,
quick. Let me
sure.
see. I think I sent you mine. I ended up. I want to make a video on it, but I made a whole Excel spreadsheet
Okay.
on like all the albums I listened to this year, and I almost have it at like a top 50 of like
Nice.
actual good albums I listened to,
Yeah.
like new music this year. So, but yeah, that took a little bit of time, but yeah. Um, yeah, number five, we talked about them on the channel a ton this year. You introduced me to this band too, so thank you. Tropical Fuck Storms,
Mm,
Fairyland, Codex, awesome,
absolutely.
weird rock music. It's it's very dark too, which is cool. It's very, very unique and uh, unique vocals as well, and just crazy writing on just the instrumentals and yeah, just the lyrics as well. So this is one of those albums where you look at the album cover and you're like, what the hell? It looks like a demented Where the Wild Things Are.
Yeah.
Even that's already kind of demented a little bit,
At
but
first, at first glance of it or first look at it, I don't think you could be blamed for going, "Oh, that looks like AI, like early AI slop kind
yeah,
of kind of look." But then,
that's true.
once you start to like look into what this band is about and like listen to music, you're like, oh, it's definitely not AI. Like it is very, they're very
Right.
against that. So yeah, yeah, great pick. I saw my top five too.
Number four, this actually I did have a switch up. I had another album here previously, but I was just kind of going through my list. I re-listened to some albums, and one that was like a few spots below kind of jumped it.
Mm-hmm.
But number four, I had Backwash's "Only Dust Remains." Backwash. She's a rapper, but she's mostly known for doing like industrial kind of hip hop, and like very harsh, like kind of instrumentals. But this one was a lot more introspective, and like the production kind of matched it, and just some pretty deep. Like her music was always pretty dark in like terms of the subject matter, but I thought she even went even deeper into addiction and all the terrible shit going on in the world, and just innocent kids being killed, and it's just some stuff. Some of it is just like, man, this is just like a whole verse on the stuff, and it's like it's so good, but sometimes it's kind of hard to get into, a little bit, and like just like I'm gonna go listen to this album, for fun kind of thing. But I think it is still somewhat more of a positive outlook for her, which I really enjoyed in terms of like I feel like there's some hope in there, more of just like a desperate kind of like this is the world and it's all turned to shit,
Yeah.
more like highlighting things. It's like, all right, we can fix this kind of thing. And then yeah, number three, I had Quadeca's Vanisher Horizon Scraper. This is kind of an interesting album. It's like a concept album, where Quadeca's his character, I guess, goes pretty much just goes sailing, and just searching for something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about him being on this boat and reminiscing about his life, and all of he eventually runs into like a sea monster and all that, and it's like all of it is kind of like I guess you could say like singer songwriter, but it's like pop and it's rap and it's pretty much everything. So really cool production,
Yeah.
awesome experience. Yeah, loved it. He's one of my favorite artists out there right now. He's killing it. And he made a whole movie too to like accompany his album. So it's like him actually on a boat sailing through the ocean, and yeah, just really cool visuals. Always really cool visuals with his stuff. But yeah, that was my number three. Number two, Geese
Oh,
Getting Killed.
getting
Yes,
killed.
rock album of the year from the Long Island band. Um, yeah, I just everything about this album, every single instrument I love. Cameron Winter, he's at the forefront of it all with his awesome, cool vocals and crazy lyrics, but are somewhat really catchy. And I think I could sing along to almost all the songs on this album. Even there's a bomb in my car,
That's my
and
favorite song. That's my favorite one on there.
that's one of the awesome, like that's the most awesome opener ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really love I think most underrated thing on this album though is the like percussion
Mm-hmm.
work. It's not very flashy, but I think it was very innovative in using a bunch of different, just not only drums, but using other kinds of percussion to kind of like aid in the groove of these songs, and um, just keep moving things along.
Yeah. I don't think we've discussed this on the pod, but there's been these recordings of Cameron Winter playing like concert halls. So it's just him and playing piano. He's playing his solo stuff, and they've been being filmed by Paul Thomas Anderson and Josh Safdie. and they've been filming him.
Or it was, I think was it Josh or was it Benny?
I thought it was
It
Josh,
was
but
one
yeah,
of them. I
it
know.
could be Benny. But okay, so
Okay,
one of the
okay,
second
one or
guys.
the other.
I thought it was
Yeah, yeah,
Benny,
one of them.
but still, let's just say Paul Thomas Anderson and crew, right? Because okay,
Hmm.
there could be something coming from that, or it could just be, for their own personal film collection. But kind of a cool thing. Also, I love the fact that he faces away from the crowd when he plays.
Yes.
Such like a like I respect that move. He's so young, and for him to be like, no, it's not about me. It's about the music, and really lean into that.
Right.
I really like. So I wanted to celebrate that too.
Yeah, yeah. That I really hope something comes out of the PTA and crew because like if they're just filming it for themselves and they're like, oh, I want to go throw something on when I get the best thing ever is when you get home and you're like, or you're at home drinking,
Oh yeah.
and you're like, I'm gonna throw a concert on, and you just like you just throw. But he's just gonna be throwing on Cameron Winter, his
Yeah.
own little personal
That he took right in front of Karen Winter, like
rude.
high quality cameras. Yeah. Yeah. Give it to us.
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
we deserve it. I'll see your movies more in theaters. I'll go 3 times instead of two
Oh
times.
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, no, I've loved seeing those performances, and yeah, no, it's just it's crazy how much they've blown up, and we've talked about it before. The pod is named after one of their songs
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
previous album. So
Yeah, and then we saw them open for King Giz, and we were like, "That's an awesome band." And then yeah, here they are blown up. Of course,
yeah,
the next album. It all makes sense. We saw it. We should be music scouts. Alex,
yes,
hit us
yeah.
with your number one.
Number one. Number one. It's been my number one since it came out. There's nothing has, taken it over. It's been my favorite album. One of my favorite albums in a really long time. I gave this a 10 out of 10 review, and that's Deaf Heaven's Lonely People with Power. Actually, I had it too. Let me see if I can find it. Yep, I got it here.
Hell yes.
See if you can see that. Yes.
Yeah.
So this is not if you're not used to the genre, it definitely is hard to get into. I could see if you're not like really interested in like super heavy, like kind of black metal. But I will say, if you are interested in to getting into like some kind of black metal adjacent album, this is definitely the one to do because it blends a lot of different genres like shoegaze and like even like post metal and post rock and so it's not just like straight black metal. So, and I really like they definitely take some risks, and I think they did a good job at like trying to blend all those styles together because it's not really an easy thing to do, and definitely can fall flat on its face. But yeah, no, like literally everything on this album, I think there's something unique about every song from song to song. Like you got some songs that are more just like kind of black metal, just straightforward, and that's cool. But there's a lot of them that lean into other styles as well. But yeah, favorite parts about this album. The themes are really cool too. Just like kind of like just the album title says it itself. Only people with power with and it's kind of split up into 3 different sections in the album, kind of going over some of those like kind of those traits of taking advantage of people and there's definitely a bunch of different forms of that you see out there of that. But yeah, the vocals are crazy. They like cut through this crazy metal music, and it's awesome. And the some of the best drumming all year. Um, yeah, just crazy blast beats and just like crazy fills and all that. But yeah, awesome album, and yeah, loved it ever since I heard it, and I was not surprised that it was my number one for the year.
Hell
So
yeah.
definitely a good year for music.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, this group of five. I've got a couple of those on my own list. At my five, I've
Hmm.
got Die Spitz's Something to Consume. It's a pretty classic rock. I would say like '90s rock kind of sound to it. Uh, Very similar.
Hmm.
It's a girl band, so I think all the members are women, and they uh, they have that Courtney Love kind of sound a little bit. So it's like, but then there's other times where she gets kind of guttural, and I'm like, this is sweet. Like she's got a song where she
Yeah.
barks. She's like a dog, and then she goes ruff like that kind of, and it's like this is awesome. Like, but this
Yeah,
album,
they got some heavy riffs.
yeah, oh yeah,
They got some heavy
they're
riffs. I
into
was
it.
surprised.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
they
It's
because
good.
there's a couple songs at the beginning of the album that are more kind of that a little less hard, and then as you get into it, you're like, okay, now we're doing like full length 2 minute guitar solos, and it's like I didn't expect that from this album. Um, but yeah, really cool. I like that one a lot. Gum, Ambrose, Ill Time. So these are two of the guys from, or actually, it's one of the guys from King Giz, and it's Ambrose Kinney Smith, and this is like a side project that he had. Um, just a really cool, funky indie rock kind of album. Um, really kind of unique, I think. And we got a Giz album this year, and I think it's just outside of my top five. I liked it a lot, but you
Mm,
know, there's been so much other music this year, and I think
yeah.
it just misses out. But this one, it does get in there. It's great. Like I said, really kind of just funky and groovy, and I like that a lot. The rest of them, the last one I have that's different from you is on my three. I got Viagra Boys by, and their album is Viagra
Great.
Boys.
Great album.
Yeah,
Great
I
album.
absolutely love this kind of art punk sound. You know, that's definitely my genre of choice. Where it's like the guy has such a weird voice. I think he's Swedish, is I think is what he is, and
Hmm. Yeah.
they have such cool sound. It's like I said, like it goes from like punk, some like cow punk in there, is I think is what they call that. You know, he gets kind of like a southern accent, which is he's doing this character. Um, and the whole thing is just really cool. Like this is such a cool band. Viagra Boys is a really cool. It's very political. Uh, all of these are kind of political albums, but that's how it should be, right? And yeah,
Yeah.
my top
I
two were Fairland Codex and Geese
mhm.
Getting Killed. So absolutely,
uh, yeah. Great picks. That's a great top three. I was so mad at myself. I just listened to that Viagra Boys album like fully for
yeah,
the first time like a week ago, and yeah, that definitely is. That's one of the best ones of the year. Like I was even getting some like kind of some like '90s nostalgic kind
yeah,
of vibes on some of the
yeah.
songs too, which was cool.
So for
Um,
me, they're kind of like I can definitely they definitely this album has more of that. They're kind of like the closest we have to a modern Talking Heads, I think, in a certain way.
mhm.
Like that kind of just it's chaotic, but it's just like they have their percussion work too is really cool. It's very like I would say not it's very unique in what they do with it.
Yeah, yeah, and I think the just the icing on the cake for them too is like they got these crazy songs, and then the lyrics are just like some of the like how do you even think of these
Yeah.
things. I was listening to one of their songs on my way home today, and it was like the one about the horse and like getting your like spine like opened up by a horse and like giving the spinal fluid to like some
Oh
kid in a
yeah.
mason jar. Like it's just so random, but like you said, there is like meaning behind even how like they sound crazy on like surface level, but there is like definitely some intention, like social commentary, um,
Yeah, so I mean, this
um,
is the follow up. Their
on these
last
things.
album was about, these crazy conservative conspiracy theorists on the internet and like their beliefs and like it was all stuff like that.
Troglodytes.
And I think they talk about this one a little bit. They talk about that stuff a little bit on this album too. That I can't remember. This album has the whole bit about your mom's only fan and looking at feet and like that kind
Yeah,
of, which
the
is
man made a meat.
Man made
Yeah,
meat. Yeah, yeah. It's I mean this it's just great and they're very yeah, they come off at a very unique kind of sound, but they're fun. Um
hmm,
hell yeah, man. I think those are a couple of great lists there, probably some stuff that I
yeah,
imagine a lot of people haven't heard of. Every time I show somebody, any of those bands, they're like, I've never heard of this, but I like this, and it's like, okay, yeah,
yeah. There's so much stuff, and I try to listen to as many things that look interesting as possible. I still like I'm at the end of the year here, and I still have like there's like 10 albums I've like been meaning to
Yeah.
listen to, and I just never got to them, and it's just like, well, that sucks. And usually I feel like I usually have some time to catch up on some things like going into the next year, because there's usually not even like movies. I feel like there's not a ton of things being released. Um, like super early on in January. Typically, I feel like they usually do it in like December, around like Christmas time, like we just saw. But um, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I can usually play catch up on both movies and music, like early January, hopefully. But I guess we'll see.
It's always tough, right? It's the
Yeah.
the march doesn't stop, does it? So you gotta just you gotta keep up or you drown, right?
Yep.
But
Yep.
hell
Got
yeah,
to get on the train and keep chugging along.
hell yes.
Oh,
I think
man.
that's good. You know what? I know we have some space stuff, but we're hitting an hour, so
Yeah, we can delay it. It's nothing new. I saw it and I'm like, let's talk about this one of these pods so we can
absolutely.
vault it.
We might like or one of these next early ones for 2026, which feels crazy to say. We should do a like we're spitballing here on the end of the pod, but uh,
Hmm.
do like a
Hmm.
longer like rundown of all the updates. What's going on in the whole space world, like as we head into this new year, because I feel like we've talked a lot about
Mm.
what's going on, but I think it's kind of time to do like a kind of okay, here's where everything's kind of settled down at this moment, because I think there's been some chaos, right?
Yes, yeah, there's definitely been changes, and yeah, I guess we could like go over where it's at and maybe make some guesses on
Okay, yeah, some
how it's
predictions.
going to
Yeah,
be,
yeah,
like some predictions for that. And we could do that for some of the other stuff we talk about too.
of course.
Like things we're like looking forward to, just in general. But yeah, we definitely can give some more love to the space world next pod. And I'll say this: I'll have like a show and tell
Oh, okay.
little object I'll bring on and talk about a little bit. So yeah, we can talk about space next pod.
I have one last question for you before we hang up, and we're
Yeah.
gonna jump back over to kind of movies adjacent, because the internet this
Okay.
last week was viral with discussion about Benny Safdie in the Odyssey and his armor,
Hmm.
and I don't
Yes.
know if you've seen this, but on my social threads or whatever, it's like all I see is
Yeah.
like he looks so cool. No, it looks like terrible, right? And I'm like, what is this discuss? Like, why? I don't understand.
It's just, yeah, it's like people were like, it's not historically accurate. And then it's like a movie that has a Cyclops in it
Yeah.
and is like,
Also,
it's
it's a
it's not
myth.
that
The
big
whole
of a
thing is a
deal.
myth, right? So it's like,
Right. It's not real. Right. I think things like that, those are things we just have to, it's just getting upset over things. We haven't even seen the movie yet.
yeah,
Like if it looks bad in the movie, like it just, the
I think it
visuals don't
looks
look
really cool.
great with the armor.
I just didn't understand
I
like
think Betty Safdie looks
yeah,
badass.
yeah. Did you see the quote about it? I don't know. Apparently, he was editing for
I don't know.
Smashing Machine. He was like doing,
Oh yeah, I saw that.
and then Chris Nolan calls him and goes, "How's your body?" And he goes, "What?"
Gotta get you in the lab.
Yeah, he's like, "I need you to
We
be in
need we
shape."
need
He's like, "All right." And
need need you to get on the push pull legs
yeah,
regimen ASAP. Come on, man.
yeah. I mean
Um,
that's just hilarious. Like, imagine just Chris Nolan calling you, and that's the first thing he says. How's your body?
dude, that's what I say. He's in the Chris Nolan camp now.
Yeah.
He's set for the rest of his life, probably.
Well,
Like
get him back in the Josh Safdie movies. Like
yes, yeah, yeah. He
he's
was
set
great
there
in Good
too.
Time.
He's set there too.
Yeah.
But okay, I think that's everything for today and for 2026 or
Yeah.
2025. Oh man,
Oh,
pretty crazy. But thanks everyone for joining us. This is like I'm blanking on our notes here, but let me look. This is like our mini episodes in. So this is technically by notes, if you're not including Baldur's Gate, potentially episode 40 something. That's the best I can
Yeah, we're like
remember.
41 or
41
around there.
somewhere. But I think that's pretty cool. So, cheers everybody, and we appreciate you guys. You know, all the listeners as viewers joining us in this journey.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Thanks for tagging along, and Happy New Year's, everyone.
Cheers.